Alright boys, today we're going to do Deechworks 300 C pump. There's the part number. There's the pump. Install kit. So first off, you're going to remove stuff in the trunk. This spare tire cover, you can use a plastic clip tool or whatever. And then the back seats, you're going to come in here, pull the handles, and then you're going to release the seats, push them down. There's going to be another clip right there. It's going to be this one right here. You're going to take that out. You can go to Harbor Freight and get clip tools. That's what I use. Then you're going to leave the seats folded down. There's going to be a 10mm bolt. You're going to use a wrench. It's in the center of the seat. When you have the seats fold down, you pull the backing. It's folded down, but there's like a backing cover on the seats. You're going to fold it up, and the 10mm bolt, which I actually have laying right there so don't lose it, and you're going to take that 10mm bolt out of the back of the rear seat here. You're going to come to the front. Let me get a flashlight here. You're going to come to the front right here, and for the front of the seat, you're going to pull this white tab forward, and it releases the seat, and that's on both sides. For the access to the, well, you're going to have to take a cover off here. I'll show you that real quick. It's like a sound deadener material. You're gonna pull that out. It just comes right out. Just pull it out. It goes underneath the seat. Then you're gonna, this is gonna be sitting on there. You're gonna take a Phillips head screw and you're gonna turn it so it comes out here. These little plastic headed screws. And then when you get that, once you get that pulled up, you're going to release the plug right here. It sits in there like so, and you're going to push in on the tab and pull up. And then I undid the clip right here with the clip tool that I have, just so I can move it out of the way. The fuel line I have shoved over, but for the fuel line, it's just like if you did a flex fuel kit. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. You're going to push in these two little tabs and you're going to pull out on the hose. And then you're just going to move it over away. Now, I will tell you, you can do it with a hammer and chisel to get this ring loose. But they make a tool for it that you can use. Luckily, I work in a dealership. And, of course, we had fuel pump recalls. Let's see. That's the part number. It works on the Accord, an Insight, and a CRV. So if you want to start doing fuel pumps. Then after you get all that stuff off the seat, I took a little hand vac and vacuumed it up the best I could. I really recommend that, so you can get a lot of the dirt and stuff out. And then this little tool just sits down in the notches, and then you're going to take a ratchet and you're going to push down on it and loosen it. And I will tell you, I've been told that these are very hard to turn. You're going to need a long ratchet. Either that or hopefully you're pretty strong. But I'm going to end the video there. That's the beginning. Doing a fuel pump. The low pressure fuel pump. Alright. Catch you on the next part of the video. So once you get that ring off, it's going to turn counterclockwise, and when you go to put it back on, it's going to go clockwise. But once you get that off, you can clean it. You can pull the ring off, set it aside, and you can clean it up a little bit more for the dirt that sits around the ring. And then you're going to turn the pump about like that. You're going to pull up a little bit, and then you're going to like tip it. And you're going to want you're going to want rags laying around to catch the fuel, because this is going to be full of fuel. And then you can tip it and dump the fuel back in there. Even though I dumped it, there's still fuel in there. You gotta make sure you do not bend the fuel level rod. But after you get that done, you're gonna tip it on, get it out, you're gonna tip it on its side. Here's your wires, you're gonna pull them out of the holder right there. And you're gonna undo this. You're gonna undo the plug right there. And then you're gonna take a screwdriver, pry up on that tool or that tab right there. And there's another one right there. And then you're gonna take this section of the fuel pump out. You're gonna undo the fuel sending unit so you're not pulling on the wires. But I'll give you an update here in a little bit. Alright, boys and girls, I'm going to show you this real quick. So pretty much that's in the pumps in there. This sock for on the OEM style gets held down once the pump's locked in there. When you pull it apart, you're going to pry them 3 tabs out, and you're going to pull the pump out. You can pull it out with the sock. It'll be fine. As for the assembly, there's one side with a spring, and I would take a pair of needle nose pliers, grab a hold of the C-clip, pull it out, set it aside. I actually have mine sitting on my toolbox, so it's not on the bench getting lost. But once you get that old fuel pump out, you can just set it aside. Well, let me correct myself. You're going to have to take and cut the wiring in half. I would cut it in the middle so you have adequate enough, like if you ever want to convert back to the stock pump or whatever, if you ever decide to. You can leave this whole assembly together and do it. I pulled there's a little keeper here, and I put it on the new pump. But and also on the factory pump, it has the spacer and 1 O-ring. With a Deechworks 300C, you're going to put the spacer and the 2 O-rings, and make sure you pull the O-ring out of there. If you don't, it's going to be messed up. But so here's the new Deechworks pump. I chose this sock, and I took the little factory keeper off and put it on this one to pretty much double make sure that it wasn't going to come off the pump. The one kit I bought came with a sock style. This one's the same size as the factory, came with the pump. So I just chose it. So then you're going to take the wiring that comes with the pump, and then this is the factory side that hooks into the top of here for your power, and then you're going to put them together with the supplied things. I did extra heat shrink. I did not shrink them yet. They're not shrinking. I gotta get my little torch out there. But yeah, to get this O-ring out, again, cheap Harbor Freight tools. You can come down in here and use the pick tool to get the O-ring out. And then to assemble, it's not going to assemble like the factory. Use the supplied lube on the O-rings. If you do not use lube on the O-rings, you run into ripping them, and then you'll have a really bad day. So pretty much I'm going to heat shrink these, and I'm going to put the assembly back together. But it took me a while to find a video because I've held off on putting the pump back in to find how this went. It's the spacer on the bottom towards the pump, then the two O-rings. I had to watch a couple YouTube videos and quite a few people did not point that out. So I'm pointing that out. It goes the spacer onto the pump, then the two O-rings on that. Alright, I'm going to continue assembling this, and I'll get you on the next one. Alright, a little update. This filter does not work. It's too deep. You'll have to use the sock. I got my assembly back together. Pushing this part back down into the clips with the new pump is kind of hard, but it is doable. And then route your wiring back in. But you can see how the sock comes all the way up the side here. It's a little big for the thing. That's why I really didn't want to use it. I wanted to try using this like it was from the factory. But this thing is the filter that comes with the pump. It's too tall, so you have to use the sock. But that's pretty much it. Now it's time to go back in. So pretty much the install is the reverse. So pretty much it's gonna be turned this way with the level sensor arm over here. You're gonna tip it in there and then turn it back to, so your plug-in is over on your driver's side and your feed is over there. You're gonna push the housing down in, then you're gonna put the ring back on, and you're gonna use a tool. And like I said, you're gonna need a long ratchet. It makes it super easy to turn that. I put the tool number in the previous video, and then you can pretty much button it all up. But I hooked the battery back up. And then you're gonna prime it. You can hear the fuel pump run. You're gonna shut it off. Do not start it. Prime it again. Shut it off. Do not start it. And then the last time, you should be able to start it right up. And then you're gonna let it run. I have my battery unhooked so all the lights are on, but it should run. And that's pretty much it. You can put your car back together and take it for a test drive, and it should be good. I have a gauge so I can check my fuel pressure, and the only reason I'm doing the fuel pump is because when you start running methanol and at higher boost, the factory pump drops pressure, and that's the only reason that I'm doing the Deechworks 300. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video. I'm gonna throw this back together and take it for a test drive.